I will be the primary instructor for hers, but I thought we'd let my colleague Nathan Bissett tell us a little bit about you, and then I'll talk. Nathan.
Yeah, thank you. So yeah, my name is Nathan Bissett. I'm a director at Southface and lead the education team, and hers is one of our premier trainings. This is one of the trainings for anyone who's interested in really being a part of the sustainability community when it comes to building homes and verifying that those homes are built sustainably. There's a number of federal programs that utilize the HERS rater training and the HERS rater designation to be the basis of training. And you know, we are here to help answer questions and tell you more about that.
Yeah, thanks. And so it's kind of a two-part process here if you want to become a home energy rater. And I would say it is probably the premier, and by that I mean the hardest certification that you can earn. There's a fair amount of content that sort of demonstrates that you understand building science and you understand really how houses work and how to do assessments and how to do energy modeling and understand combustion safety. So there's a lot of great scope to this. And there's a fair number of evaluations that you'll go through. And we'll talk about this in a little more detail. But it's also probably as hard as it is, it's also, I think, my favorite training because we get to really know people and you know, kind of, I think that really the world needs more people with this level of knowledge. So I think there's a tremendous need for this in our society, and on being able to assess new homes, but also existing homes. So the HERS industry sets us up to do that very well. So Nathan, here's a piece of trivia for you. 1999 was the first year that Southface and I was one of the instructors as taught our very first HERS class. And I don't even know the actual number, but do you know the approximate number of how many HERS trainings we've done in what is now a 20+ year period of time? You can take a guess.
Easily over 100. It's got to be over.
It is over 100. It is over 100. I don't know exactly what the number is, but so we have been around and have been doing this for quite a while. I know that at one point we passed the 1,500 students mark. So I only say that because, well, I'm proud of that. I'm proud for Southface, but I think it hopefully demonstrates that we have some experience in this and try to, you know, take our job seriously about preparing you for, you know, the exams to come, but also to help kind of hold your hand through the process. So the way we teach it is, and we've gone to a kind of a several half days. I call it a half day. It's a I don't know, 8:30 to 12:30 or 1 kind of a day. And we do, I think, a total of 10 days. And then there are the exams. And you're gonna have to help me with these exams, Nathan. There's 3 exams from ResNet. There is the combustion safety exam, which is pretty straightforward. It uses a simulator. So it's playing a little video game. And we also teach the actual combustion safety things you have to do. And then there is what?
A 55 question test. So
there's a pretty decent exam that is about your knowledge of all things in the HERS industry, and it's got some math, it's got some building science questions, and our job is to prepare you to do well on that. We've had a pretty good success rate. And then there's also another simulation. You know that one. Can you describe that one?
Yeah, so that one is the closest experience you'll have to being in the field and rating a home. You get a fake blower door and you get a fake, you know, set of instruments, and you go through this house, opening doors, opening windows in order to conduct your blower door test and to assess the home. You're identifying location of heater, the type of heating equipment, all sorts of things as if you were actually going into the field. So it's a really great experience to get a sense of what this is all about. And
this is a simulator test again, where you actually are playing another video game and you're walking around and measuring and putting down the right information. rating a home. And it takes probably an hour to 2 hours to do a rating on the simulator. Yep. So you can see it's fairly in depth, but it's also kind of fun, and you can practice and all this kind of stuff. So it's a great teaching tool as well. We also have a couple other exams that we choose to do. We want to live, or I say live, we can do this either remotely if you're far away and have access to the equipment. And by the equipment, it's things like a blower door and a duct pressure testing kit. And we'll teach you how to make a flow hood if you don't have one. And that's what we call the field exam. And that's a kind of proctor thing. So it could be one-on-one, kind of like this, Nathan, with, you could set up your laptop or whatever. And I can say, tell me what you're doing and why is that tube going there, and things like that. And that's just to make sure everybody has great comfort. You can also, if you're close enough, or when I come to Atlanta, you can do that live at our Southface. We have a great training facility that has got a house inside the building. So you can use that for a test house if you prefer. And we're fine with either one of those. And then there's also, you're going to rate an actual real live house, and we'll either do that from a real live house, or we'll give you a set of plans and you'll rate that in the software that we use for real ratings, which is called Ecotrope. Do you want to briefly mention that one?
Yeah, so Ecotrope is the leading energy modeling software for residential homes in the country. So we'll teach you how to use that. You'll get some experience using it. You'll be able to connect the dots between what you're learning in the class and the building science to how that is modeled in Ecotrope in order to generate what's basically called a HERS index score. And all of this that we're doing comes down to rating a home, which is quantified on a scale of 0 to 100, the lower the better. And every home essentially has the ability to be rated, and we'll get a score on that.
Yeah. And I'm trying to think of, I don't want to give away the spoiler or the ending of the mystery here, but I was trying to think of how much depth we go through. I think our basic schedule is we have an orientation that is usually like the Thursday before the training starts officially on a Monday. And the orientation is maybe an hour and a half. And it's just to kind of make sure everybody is effectively logged in to practice, to be able to practice the simulator, to be able to do, we also ask you to do several hours of pre-class stuff so that you kind of come in and we can hit the ground running. And that's on that Thursday. And then Monday morning, the class starts. And I believe this particular class is starting April 18th, I think is the right date. And so that first week we'll do 4 straight days, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. And it's a lot of basically building science review. We'll talk about heat, air, and moisture. We'll get into practical applications of that. We'll be learning how to do air sealing and do insulation and assess those and do blower door testing. And then I think that takes us through the first week. And then the second week, I want to say we hit the ground with mechanical equipment and duct testing. And all along the way, we're practicing with the simulator, and we're practicing portions of it, at least, that we've kind of covered in class. And so as we go along, we're sort of building a file, a model using the simulator and also using Ecotrope. So we try to get your hands in it, pretty much from the get-go. We also give homework, and we have another great instructor, Jody Cummings, who she couldn't be here for this, but she is really good about helping people understand. If you're struggling, we try to have like office hours kind of thing. And she's a great resource. Anyway, so we'll go through mechanical stuff and duct testing and a little bit about the industry, the HERS industry, and then we move into kind of the last little bit is about combustion safety, which is really sort of a one-off module. It's one thing that you can kind of do in a modular setting, and then you'll practice with a special simulator for that and take an exam for that and knock that out. And then the last day is kind of more just making sure everybody is feeling pretty comfortable, and that we kind of review content and help do test prep kind of stuff, and get everybody ready for the exams. And so the training is basically 3 successive weeks. It's 4 days, 3 days, 3 days. And then the following Monday is that's where the fun is for the students. Not, I say that it's fun for me because I don't have to take a test, but the students will start taking their exams, and then we'll schedule the proctoring for the field exam and things like that, you know, that week and possibly into the following week. So the good news is if you do this, we can kind of get you in and out in less than a month. And that's a pretty good amount of time. I mean, there's a degree of effort, but it's also not so overwhelming. And it's, you know, roughly a half-day instruction. So Nathan, you've been through this class. I don't know. What would you recommend?
Yeah, I mean,
beer. I don't know. Is beer an option? I don't know if that's an option.
Beer's an option. Beer's always an option. No, you know,
coffee.
Just keeping up with the pace. We'll get you there. Basically, that's what we do. We have very high success rates with helping people pass, those that are engaged and ask questions and do homework and try to figure it out along the way. But yeah, you keep up, we can take you to the finish line.
Yeah, that's our job, and we really enjoy doing it. It's a super neat class, and just in the sense of I've been playing in this residential energy efficiency world for decades, and to me this is just the most comprehensive training effort, and it's really fun, and I always learn, and hopefully you will too. So I think that's probably it. There, if we I don't know if I can share my screen. I had this. Let's see if this pops up. I had I was just going to say, on the Southface, if you go to the main Southface website, southface.org, under training, you can scroll down and see some trainings listed. But here it is in particular. It's the home energy rating system training. And we just try to not confuse people and just charge the flat rate. So that does include about, I don't know how many hundreds of $550 or so worth of pass-through fees that go to ResNet. So we don't try to charge you extra for that or anything. And then there is, I guess, a discount if you're a member of Southface, and usually it's worth it to become a member of Southface. So there's a description about it, some stuff about the instructors. And I mean, you know, also I would say, if you have any questions, feel free to reach out to me or Nathan or Jody. And, you know, my email is mikeb@southface.org. It's been that for so long now. So any thoughts or any comments on that? Okay, Nathan, that was a push for you. Are you still connected?
Still connected. Oh, I think you got it, Mike. I think this is a good summary.
And we also can share a much more detailed agenda. Once you sign up, we'll share that with you. That kind of goes through the days, but you know what we cover each day. But I think for this is a good level of content. And so you go to southface.org, and then under training, and then you can kind of scroll through or just type in HERS, and that will find it there. Yeah, I hope this, if you're watching, I hope this wets your whistle and gets you interested in this. I think this is just truly one of the more amazing skill sets, and probably it is the premier residential credential for anybody in the industry.